Hi, and welcome to the next Operation Alpha lifestyle module. In this video, I'm going to try to clarify exactly what the impact of a relaxed approach to diet and drinking and just basically enjoying yourself over the weekend can have on your fat loss goals. So I'm going to really try and sort of clear up the numbers so that you have an awareness of that. But I'll also, it's not all doom and gloom. I'll also try to demonstrate what tactics you can use to sort of enable you to have your cake and eat it too, so that you're able to enjoy the weekend while not blowing your fat loss goal. So the first thing is to realize is that 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories. So therefore, this means for you to lose 1 pound of fat per week, you need to be in a 500 calorie deficit every day over 7 days. So that's including the weekend, for you to lose what is a very healthy and good amount of weight to lose each week, but one that is also fairly moderate. If you think most people want to lose weight quite quickly, they'd be looking for probably 2 pounds per week, maybe even more if they're crash dieting. But we're going for a nice sensible goal over here, 3,500 calorie deficit over the week. Now, obviously, as we know, most people tend to change their habits at the weekend. So while they may be, working really hard on their training and eating really well during the week, it's going to change at the weekends. So assuming they're able to do it from Monday to Friday, including Friday night, this is going to add up to a 2,500 calorie deficit. So we're already 1,000 calories short of being able to achieve what's required for the 1 pound of fat per week. And the thing is as well, let's face it, most people start letting their hair down on Friday night. So what's probably more likely to happen is this deficit is going to be achieved from Monday to Thursday. So the deficit is probably going to be 2,000, the one that's been created during the week, which is probably, we're looking at about half a pound of fat loss, assuming that it is not blown over the next couple of days. Of course, that's, generally speaking, that's not what happens. So let's give an example of what could happen over the weekend. So let's say on Friday night, the eating habits are relaxed. So an extra 500 calories are consumed on Friday night. So there's no deficit created. And there's also some drinking taking place as well. So say in this example, this guy has 3 pints of lager. Pint of lager is 250 calories roughly. So 750 calories have been consumed on top of maintenance calories. On Saturday night, in the example, this guy drinks another 6 lagers. That's another 1,500 calories. And obviously, there's more to it than that as well, because, this guy is not just drinking, he's also relaxing his eating habits. So the deficit has gone. With eating out and a few desserts, etc., creeping in, you can easily end up consuming an extra 1,000 calories above maintenance over the weekend. That's only an extra 500 on, say, Saturday and Sunday, and maybe even some more above maintenance calories on Friday as well. So these are fairly conservative numbers, really. So in this example, excess total of calories from the weekend is 3,250 calories, which means obviously the hard work during the week has been undone. So you're looking at between 750 and 1,250 extra calories consumed above maintenance. So, that's working with either 2,000 or 2,500 calorie deficit created during the week, undone to the tune of that amount, which is obviously quite a lot. However, okay, so this is a typical scenario, but how do we combat this? How do we get to that sort of magic situation where you're able to do both? You're able to continue to get your fat loss and enjoy your weekend, right? So I'm going to show you some tactics that we can use. So I'm just going to change this. Hopefully you can see this. Right. Okay. So, tactics that you can use to stay on track. So the first one is you could limit the booze to one evening instead of the two. So obviously, you know, in the example that we had, say for example, the guy didn't drink 3 lagers on Friday night, you'd be saving yourself 750 calories there. But obviously the idea is then, you know, you don't want to completely blow it the following night, just cramming the same amount of drinking into one evening. We do need to be saving some beers or some glasses of wine to reduce the damage that is done. Another tactic that you can do is, as well as that, you could add in some more activity. So you could get an extra training session, and say you're tracking your steps, which I would, you know, recommend that you do. You could also get some extra steps in over the weekend as well. So again, you're just starting to combat these extra calories that you know that you are making a choice, an intentional choice to consume over the weekend. Now, another thing that you could do, and this is where it starts to get sort of pretty effective, yeah, a good tactic for a lot of people, is you may consider using a more aggressive calorie deficit during the week. So say Monday to Friday, say you go for a 750 calorie deficit per day as opposed to 500, and you make sure you nail it from Monday to Friday, which includes Friday night. Yeah, then you know you're ending that working week with a 3,750 calorie deficit, which is a pound of fat loss. We know we needed 3,500 to get the pound of fat loss. So you've nailed that from Monday to Friday. You're now in a good position coming into Saturday, coming into the weekend itself. So another thing that you can do is you can adjust your other food choices around your eating out and your drinking. So say you've got one evening where you know you're going to be eating out and drinking, all the other food choices that weekend can factor into that. They can reflect the fact that you can do that, that you're going to be doing that. So you want to be looking at, you know, very low calorie foods with lots of protein, which is obviously more filling and obviously supportive of your fat loss goals as well. And say you were doing that on the day when you were going to go out, you could do that all day, sort of very, very moderate calories and high protein. And this is something that we call a protein fast. So you may get to the evening having consumed a lot less calories than you normally would at that point. And you wouldn't feel starving hungry because you were getting the protein in. You'd get some fruit and veg in, but probably very moderate on the fat and very moderate on the carbs. Yeah, so that's another tactic that you can use in combination. Another thing, pretty obvious really, is to track. So continue to track. I know it's probably something that people feel that they just don't want to bother doing at the weekend, but assuming your goal is very, very important to you and you do want to achieve your goal, as well as enjoying yourself, this is definitely something that I would recommend, because it's going to give you that knowledge and awareness the whole time. You're not going to get into a situation where you're unaware, or you maybe delude yourself perhaps about what's going on, and therefore you're going to lead to those better choices and those more mindful choices where you are proactively trying to establish a formula that's going to give you everything you want, enjoying yourself on one hand while getting the fat loss on the other. And finally, another tactic that you could use is limiting the indulgence to just one 24-hour period. So say that would be, you know, from Saturday morning to Saturday night. Obviously, you know, you're sleeping either side of that, or on the Sunday. Yeah, so some people might call this a cheat day. I don't want to call it a cheat day because it's not permission to go completely nuts. Even in that scenario, you still need to be aware of your numbers, the calorie deficit that you've created during the week, and what impact what's going on in the weekend and during your kind of free day, if you like, 24-hour period, what impact that's having on the work you've done during the week as well. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I'll wrap it up there. If you have any questions, please let me know. Give me any feedback that you may have on this video. You can email me at wolfpack at operation-alpha.com. Thank you.